Salam and good evening. We all enjoyed the music. We've changed the program a little bit tonight, but I think everything will just be wonderful. Again, my name is John Graham. I teach at the Miraz School of Business, teach international business, and it's my privilege tonight to represent the UCI Citizen Peacebuilding Program. It's also my privilege to welcome all of you here tonight. We're so happy to see the auditorium full. Of course, we knew it would be, given our guest of honor, but I'm so happy to welcome all of you here to help us honor Dr. Shirin Ebadi for all her work in building democracy, social justice, and peace in Iran. It's never been a more important time for Americans and Iranians to understand one another. Iran is just not a theocracy with nuclear ambitions. It's a country with 70 million citizens. And just like us in the US, almost all Iranians pray for peace. Iran is also a country with a rich cultural history of promoting human rights. It, of course, all started with Cyrus the Great 2,500 years ago. And I think it's important to understand that Cyrus was a leader in promoting the notion that government should serve the people and not the reverse. One of the other things that he did that's important for Americans to know is that he freed the Jews so that they could go back to Israel 2,500 years ago. I want to just briefly tell you a little bit about the Citizen Peacebuilding Program at UCI. Our motto is turning research into action for a safer world. So our goal is a safer, more peaceful world. We study how peace is built, and we also engage in different activities around the world and locally to promote peace. Just to let you know a little bit about what we've learned, and maybe some of this is obvious, of course, if you look at the governmental level, policies of peace are important, and we recognize that. But our focus at Citizen Peacebuilding is at the grassroots level. We try to understand how peace is promoted when citizens are talking to one another, even though they're from diverse communities or different countries. Citizen peacebuilding is practical. We know from our work that it works. But citizen peacebuilding takes patience. Its effects are hard to see. And citizen peacebuilding takes persistence, the kind of persistence that Dr. Ebadi has shown in her career in Iran. We also engage in active peacebuilding in places like Northern Ireland, Bosnia-Herzegovina, and former Soviet Georgia. And we also have events like this, and there's a couple of reasons. One is, of course, to promote peace and to have an inspirational leader share with you her ideas. But also, we hope that we can, through these events, raise money to provide, in this case, a fellowship for a graduate student in Dr. Ebadi's name. And so those are our goals, is to promote peace and also, in this longer way, through a fellowship for a graduate student. Now, fortunately, I'm not the MC for tonight. You've already heard a little bit of my abilities. Instead, we have Ms. Rudy Bakhtiar as the MC, and I'll applaud that. Rudy Bakhtiar, MC for the evening, serves as a contributor to Anderson Cooper's 360 Degrees on CNN USA. Based in CNN's world headquarters in Atlanta, so thank you for coming from Atlanta. Previously, Rudy served as a news anchor for CNN's Headline News Tonight, where she anchored the network's coverage of the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. She was on the air when the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks began and reported throughout that day and has continued to cover unfolding events as the crisis turned into a search and rescue mission that evolved into a war on terrorism. In 2002, Rudy traveled to Jerusalem to produce reports on the conflict between the Israelis and the Palestinians. And I could go on, but I think you'd all rather hear from Rudy. And so I'm going to ask Rudy to come up and please handle the rest of the program. Thank you.
Thank you all. What an amazing, amazing event. What an amazing couple of days it's been to be in the presence of someone like Mrs. Shirin Ebadi.